let's talk a little bit about some news that happened yesterday. Reported by GoPowerCat.com, K-State was in talks with Matt Wells for him to become the new quarterbacks coach and co-offensive coordinator at K-State. So if you guys don't know who that is, Matt Wells is the former head coach at both Texas Tech and Utah State. He coached the likes of Jordan Love, who was a first-round pick and playing pretty darn good football this past season in the NFL. And then he went on to Texas Tech. In the last couple years, he has been the offensive analyst, or an offensive analyst, I should say, at Oklahoma. And Oklahoma produced the Big 12 first-team quarterback this year in Dylan Gabriel. When I saw the news, I was pretty excited. Now, I don't think it's a done deal yet, but I was pretty excited to see a quarterbacks coach to be coming in as a co-offensive coordinator. I'm assuming he's going to be like the passing game coordinator, and Connor Riley is going to be the run game coordinator. Both of them are going to have co-titles as OC. Kenny, I wanted to get your thoughts on Connor Riley possibly not being the OC with Matt Wells coming in as the quarterbacks coach and co-OC at K-State.
So I would love to take the credit for this take, even though I kind of was already thinking this before Tim Fitz actually said it. But him and I, like, we must be on the same wavelength or whatever, because I was like, well, you've got a brand new offensive line coming in. You're going to want your offensive line coach there on the sidelines to be there for this very new offensive line that's coming in. So I'm thinking, okay, Connor Riley is going to want to be on the sideline. I felt like that was going to be the case. Now, and also you didn't mention that Jordan's actually the starter for Green Bay right now. So there's that as well. So yeah, it's cool to see that.
He's a starter right now for the Green Bay Packers, and he's done pretty well this season.
Yeah, it's cool to see. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. He used to be a quarterback way back in the day. I think like in the 90s or something. He played for like the Army or the Navy, one of those the schools like Army, Navy or something like that, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Let's just go ahead and pull up the Wikipedia page, because that's a good place to source here.
Wikipedia, I believe it's already telling him that he's our offensive coordinator. It's not set in stone yet, but they're already locking it in like it's a done deal.
Yeah. So Wells was a redshirt freshman on Utah State's 1993 Las Vegas Bowl season. He played quarterback in 16 games in the 94-95 seasons at Utah State, passing for 2,000 yards and 11 touchdowns. 1996 Big West Conference co-championship team. Did not play in a bowl game. 3-year letterman. So like you said, he did play quarterback. Now, as a coach, he coached at Navy, Tulsa.
Oh, he played for Utah State. I thought he played for the Navy. I don't know why I thought that.
He was the quarterbacks coach there at Navy.
Okay. So that's what I.
As a player, he played at Utah State and then eventually became the head coach there for about 5 seasons. He worked his way up from Navy, Tulsa, New Mexico, Louisville, back to New Mexico, back to Utah State. He started as a quarterback and running an offensive coordinator, and then moved on to be the head coach at Utah State. Then moved on to Texas Tech, where things did not go so well. He was fired after just a couple of seasons. And like I said, he's spent the last couple of years at Oklahoma, where he has been the offensive analyst. Now, here's what I have to say about that. There's a couple different ways you can look at it. There's a positive outlook and a negative outlook on Matt Wells. So the negative is pretty obvious. He was fired at Texas Tech after just a couple of seasons. Wasn't that good. His second to last season at Utah State, where Jordan Love was the quarterback for about 2/3 of the season, they finished with a 6-7 record, including a bunch of beatdowns. Now, the next year, here's a positive outlook. The positive outlook is that he did go 11-2 his final year at Utah State as head coach. He scored 40 or more points in 9 of those games. He spent the last 2 years at Oklahoma learning a lot from other guys, including Jeff Lebby, who is now the head coach at Mississippi State. He was the offensive coordinator at Oklahoma. And like we said earlier, Dylan Gabriel was the first team quarterback at in the Big 12 this past year. So there's a lot to look at in terms of positive and negative. I'm going to look at the positive aspect here when it comes to Matt Wells. Now, here's the thing, though. He's a co-offensive coordinator. And it looks like he's going to be sharing with Connor Riley. So if Matt Wells does not do that well as a play caller, they can always go back to Connor Riley as the OC, right? It's not like we're firing Connor Riley. He's still going to be the offensive line coach. He's going to stay in the field now with his guys. He's probably going to be throwing in some play calls as well. So you get the best of both worlds. You get to keep Connor Riley, and you also get a fresh start at quarterbacks coach with Matt Wells. I feel like it's a win-win for K-State, man. I really, really do.
Yeah, I mean, I said this in the last video. I said, Coach Kleiman is really good at networking. He knows how to communicate with everybody, and he's got his, like, I don't know, he's got his name out there. A lot of people know who he is, and he just is really good with networking with a bunch of different coaches. It seems like he's on a great relationship with a lot of coaching and coaching staffs across the nation. And I don't know, I think he obviously is going to make the best decision for K-State, and I just trust him. I think he made the right decision. He knows a lot more about Wells than we do, so we'll have to see. I'm excited, and I think unless something crazy happens, I think this might be the final news of K-State football for the
final big news, right? So they're still going to have some more signings in February with the late signing period, which it feels like the early signing period is when everyone signs. Now they're obviously going to also hire a couple of like analyst coaches and like special staff members, because a few of our guys actually, Buford just left K-State to go to Texas A&M with Colin Klein. So there's going to be a completely new coaching room for the quarterbacks and offense this new year, which, I mean, I feel like is probably a good thing, give a fresh start for Avery. When looking at Avery Johnson, Fitz over at Go Powercat compared him to Michael Penix, and I feel like it's a good comparison, but I actually feel like he's a better comparison to Jordan Love, just with way better legs, way faster. Like the way they both played, like they're looking to pass first, but they can run the ball, and they run it very, very effectively. So I feel like this is a great fit for K-State with Matt Wells having coached Jordan Love. And I feel like Avery is probably going to be pretty excited knowing his new OC is a guy that coached a first-round draft pick.
Yeah, so that, and he used to be a quarterback.
That's really exciting.
And he also used to be a quarterback himself. So, I mean, yes, we were saying that we needed somebody with quarterback experience, or we were hoping for. So, is this like jump out of your seat full of excitement? Not really, but I'm okay with this, and I'm confident that I'm confident Kleiman made the right choice, and I mean I think we're in good hands. I think what you said was absolutely correct. So yeah.
So here's what I want to say. So last few things as I go on here about this. So I tweeted out recently, yes, please, when I saw the news about Matt Wells. Had 140 likes on Twitter. That is a lot of people liking that post. A lot of K-State fans are excited about it. In terms of what you're going to see on the field, you are going to see some deep balls. You are going to see some RPOs. You're probably going to see a lot of screen game as well. And I do still anticipate K-State to be running the ball a lot with DJ Giddens because he's just an animal. So I feel like this is definitely going to be a pro-style offense going forward with Avery Johnson. Yeah. And I definitely feel, like I said, this is probably the best thing for K-State and for Avery Johnson. You got anything else to say on Matt Wells at K-State?
No, man. Welcome to the family. Can't wait to see us back on the field in a while from now. But right. Super excited for you, man. Welcome to the K-State family. We hope you stick around. Just don't blow it. All right. Just don't blow it. All right.
Just don't blow it, man.